Journey to Alicorn Land Chapter 5. Journey back home to the bay. One day has passed since Sunny and her friends had decided it was time to return home to Equestria. King Arbor promised to have some of the city's technicians to look at Mirstream just in case if there was any damages after a storm. Sunny and her friends appreciated it. "I'm looking forward to get home," said Sunny. "I'm excited to get home though. I like Skyros, but there's nothing better than home," said Misty. "You're so right about that, Misty," said Pip. They were talking about it. Soon, Maestrin arrived to town, and the technician team started to look through it just to make sure it was not damaged. After a while, the technician team were finished with their inspection of Maestrin, and they informed Garnet Glim. "The transport is top shape, no problem with it," said the technician. "I'm glad to hear that, and thank you for your work," said Garnet Glim. Garnet thought of to tell his guests about it, and while he was walking to find them, he felt a bit of pain in his chest. It was due to the fact Sip was going back to Equestria, since he had just started dating her, and the thought of being so far away from her is making his heart hurt. As he was walking, he found Sip and Pip in the castle garden talking together while they enjoyed a nice day. "Garnet, how did the inspection go with the Mirstream?" asked Pip. "It went well there. There were no damage on it." "I'm glad to hear that, since we don't want to crash in the ocean on our way back," said Sip. "I think I will go tell Sunny about the news." Sip then took off, and Pip looked at Garnet Glim. "Is something wrong?" "Nothing is wrong," but Pip could tell something was wrong with him just by looking at him, and he finally decided to tell exactly what was wrong. He sat down next to Pip. "All right, the thing is, I really love your sister, and being her boyfriend is something amazing. But knowing that all of you are going home, the distance is what making you feel like this, isn't it?" "Yes, it's pretty much it." Pip looked at Garnet before looking up the sky. "I can't imagine the feeling, but my sister can be quite stubborn to things, but knowing her, when her feelings about some pony, even as a friend or a boyfriend, she will always take that first into account." "I know, but I can always just go see all of you in Equestria too." "Yes, if your dad, King Arbor, allow you, of course." "That might be true. It would take a lot to convince him for it." "I think you can do it, though." "Thanks, Pip. I appreciate it." While they were talking, Sip flew and found Sunny and Hitch talking with Izzy. "Sip, you look at me in a hurry." "Not really. I'm just looking all over for you. I have news about the Midstream." "What news do you have?" asked Hitch. Hitch asked her while he was playing with Sparky. The technician had gone through Midstream top to bottom and found no problem with it. "That's good to hear," said Sunny. "We can leave it tomorrow or the day after tomorrow," said Izzy. "I think we can leave the day after tomorrow," said Sip. "I think that's a good idea. We can spend a bit more time here, Skyros," said Sunny. I think so too. I'm looking forward to get home though." "Same here. I missed Mirtam Bay a lot lately, but I think Skyros is a nice place too," said Sunny. They were all talking about things they had seen and done in Skyros, and what they were looking forward to go back home in Mirtam Bay. Later in the evening, when they were having dinner with King Arbor and his two sons, Starrush and Garnet Glim. "So it's decided you all are going home. Yes, we are going back to Merton Bay the day after tomorrow. It's gonna be sad you're all leaving, said Starrush. We know, but you're all always welcome to Equestria at any time, said Izzy. We appreciate that, don't we, Garnet? King Arbor looked at his oldest son, who looked at his food, while his dad asked him. Yeah, we do appreciate it, and we hope to be able to see you all soon there too. After dinner, they all went to their rooms, but Sip laid in her bed. She thought of calling her mom Haven. Sip, how you been doing in the Skyros? Hey mom, it's going well here. We are leaving the day after tomorrow. I'm gonna be happy to see all of you. I can tell Uncle Beryl too that you're all coming home soon. Thanks. I think Misty would appreciate it too. Yes, I think so too. And and how about we have a welcome home party for all of you? Well, I don't know what the others thinking about it though. Sip said it as she laid in her bed while in a video call with her mom. They talked for a while. By the end, Sip said that they could prepare a welcome home party, but she won't tell the others. It will be a surprise, and Sip suggested that it should be in the Crystal Bright House. I think it's gonna be a good idea, and I think Alphabet's gonna make some good tea for it too. Well, I can't wait for it, and I'm thinking of I should get some sleep now, Mom. So I will see you soon. Haven smiled to her daughter. I think it's a good idea. Good night, Sip. Sleep well. After that, Sip hung on the call and she looked at the window while laying in the bed, and she thought she can't wait to get home. After that, she fell asleep. The next day, as the sun arose on the sky, Sip and the others woke up early to have breakfast with King Arbor and his son. Sonny, you want to hang out with me today? Asked Starrush. Starrush, sure, I wouldn't mind at all. Great, we can have a lot of fun today. While they were talking and having breakfast, Garnet and Glim were looking at Sip a few times. He didn't know how to tell her, but then he thought of something while looking at her. Sip, would you like to spend some time with me today? That would be fun, said Sip. Sip replied with a smile, and Garnet smiled back to her, and he felt it was going to be a good time. After breakfast, he waited for her by the door. You want to talk to something? Yes. I was thinking if you would consider this as our date. I would like that since we are dating, so why not? Thanks. I can see you later at noon by the fountain at the courtyard. Yep, I will see you then. Sip left, and Garnet felt quite excited about his date with Sip. He had already had something planned out for their date in town. As he stood there, Misty walked up to him. Are you going to have a date with Sip? Yes, I am actually. If you don't mind, I can give you an idea how to finish the date with. Of course, I'm open for any ideas. How about finish it when watching the sunset with ice cream? Actually, I like that idea. Thanks. I think I will do that. Garnet Galeem left it down and to do his duties before his date with Sip. Sip went back to her own room to do things first, and she decided to tell her mom about her dating Garnet Galeem. Hey Sip, how is it this Skyros? It's going well here, Mom. I wanted to tell you something. Well, what is it, Sip? At first, Sip was silent for a brief moment, cause she had no idea how her mom would react. Well, I have a boyfriend. That's great. Who is it? His name is Garnet Glim. Her mom was speechless for a moment. Garnet Glim. Wait a minute. Isn't he the Crown Prince of Skyros? Yes, that's him. Severina Storm. I am so proud of you. Mom, you didn't have to call me by my full name like that. I'm sorry, Sip, but I'm truly happy for you. I hope it's good for you. Yes, he and I'm actually going to have a date today. I hope you and Garnet Galen will have a great date together. Thanks, Mom. I will tell you all that later, how it went. Looking forward to it. After that, they ended the call and Sip walked over to the window and smiled. She couldn't be more excited about her date with Garnet Glim. She was even curious what he had planned for them. While she was in her room, Garnet Glim had finished his duties for the day. He ran into Sunny and Star Rush onto the courtyard as they were leaving the castle. Are you waiting for Sip? Asked Star Rush. Yes, I am actually waiting for her. I think she will be here soon anyway, said Sunny. Thanks, and fun you too. Both Sunny and his younger brother thanked and left. He sat on the fountain waiting for Sip to show up. After being waiting for a moment, then Sip walked up to him by the fountain. She had put a ribbon in her mane to make her look a bit extra cute for him. When Garnet Gleam saw it, he was quite surprised and stunned. He couldn't even get a single word first. Sip, you look quite amazing. Thanks. It was actually my sister's idea, and I went along with it. You do look really amazing in it. Thanks. Sip blushed as Garnet told her that, and she couldn't stop feeling happy in her heart. Are you ready for a date? I'm sure ready for it. They both left the castle and went into the city of Alonius. They went to a restaurant where they'd have lunch together, since it was around lunchtime. There, Garnet let Sip to choose their lunch. She ordered pasta for them. And while they were waiting for their lunch, what do you think of Skyro so far? It's a nice place. Kinda reminds me a bit of Separate Heights back home. Glad to hear that. Yeah, even I'm gonna miss this place. Well, we're leaving soon. It's sad, though, but I know you will have to go home. Yeah, it's something we had to do. Soon, their lunch arrived to the table, and they started enjoying it. And Sip was happy to be on a date with Garnet Glim. Even she knows that she has to be leaving soon with her friends. But she knows that something gonna happen eventually. After they finished their lunch, they just walked around together in town. Meantime, Sunny and Star Rush were spending time at the arcade having some fun together. Oh, you won't beat me this time. Yes, I will beat you. Just you wait, said Star Rush. They were playing a racing game together, and both had so much fun. Really had so much things in common. They played a few different games from dancing games to racing games. After they finished played for a while, they decided to take a break. Jeez, that was a lot of fun. I tell you that. My brother and I often play these games together when we can. That explains why you're so good at it. Well, yeah, that though you don't play these games back home? Not really. It happens sometimes though, but not so often. Perhaps you should do that more often when you can. I guess you're right, but you're a good opponent. Thanks, you too. After that, they went to another place to hang out. While Sip and Garnet Glen were enjoying the day together. As the day came to an end, it was the afternoon. Garnet remembered what Misty told him an idea him earlier. When the sun was about to go down, how about we grab an ice cream and watch the sunset together? I think it's a good idea, said Zip. They went to an ice cream shop that was about to close within a few minutes. Both chose chocolate ice cream, and they found a good spot to sit down. There they had a good view over the sunset. I'm glad I came here to Skyrose so I could meet you. I'm glad for it too, since I had no idea that I would meet my true love. Thanks. You know what to say. I learned from my dad. Zip laughed, and they both had just finished ice cream. Zip leaned against Garnet's shoulder as they sat there, even after the sun had gone down. Before the two returned back to the castle, when they arrived, a servant told them that dinner should be served soon. Both of them told that they would be there soon, and they went to their rooms to get ready for dinner. How did your first date with Garnet Gleam go? Zip asked Pip. It went well. It was great. He knows how to treat me well. Especially when watching the sunset with ice cream. Yes, but how do you know that? Misty told me that she told him about the idea. Thanks, I do like the idea myself, and dinner is ready to be served soon. I know, I'm about to go downstairs. Soon Zip joined the others for dinner in the dining hall, and she enjoyed it and talked to a lot. Sunny asked Zip how her date with Garnet went. I had so much fun today on my date with Garnet. He really knows how to treat a girl well. I'm glad you did know that, though, said Sunny. They enjoyed the dinner, and after dinner, most of them went to the castle library to enjoy. But Zip went straight to her room since she was tired after a long day. When she were in her bed, she laid down. Zip called her mom since she promised earlier to inform her about how her date went with Garnet. Her mom answered with a smile. Hey Zip, how did your date with Garnet go? It went perfectly well, Mom. Haven was eager to hear every detail of her daughter's date since it was Zip's first date ever with a stallion. He took me to a restaurant, he let me order both of us, I picked pasta, and we talked all kinds of things. After that, we took a walk in town. He showed me to all kinds of places. He was quite good. He did tell me some good jokes. He sounds a good catch. And how did you finish the date? Haven asked. We finished it with watching the sunset with having ice cream. Gosh, that's so romantic ending of a date. I know, right, Mom? He's amazing. Is it possible I can see a photo of him? Of course, Mom. Just give me a moment. Zip chose a photo of her and Garnet from the date and sent to her mom. My gosh, Zip, he's so handsome. And he's a crown prince. That's a lot better. Thanks, Mom. Even though I never thought finding my true love here on top of his at Alicorn too. I'm so proud of you, Zip. I can't wait to see you soon again. But will Garnet visit us sometime? I think so, Mom. After they continued to talk for a bit longer, before Zip ended the call and chose to go to bed early, since it was already 10 p.m. She was tired after a long day, but before she fell asleep, she looked out of the window at the stars. I am so glad to have Garnet Gleam in my life. After that, she drifted off to sleep and she smiled in her sleep too. The next day, it was the day when Sunny and her friends were leaving to return home to Equestria. They had packed their bags and went to the dining hall to have breakfast with King Arbor and his sons. At the table, there was silence. King Arbor broke the silence. It's sad to see Oliver leaving, but we understand you have things back home to take care of. But you should know, you're always welcome back here at any time. Thank you, King Arbor. We appreciate all of it. When are you leaving? Asked Starrush. We thought of leaving around after lunch, said Zip. That give us some time to have fun until then. You bet on it, said Issy. After that, they talked more about the planning for the breakfast. Zip went to Mere Stream to put her bags, and the others too, with the help of the Garnet Glim. It's sad you all had to leaving so soon. Yes, but we have been here for a while, and we need to go home, said Zip. I get it, but how would we spend our last time together before lunch? Of course, I would like that. Zip went through the mirror stream one more time, and then she left with Garnet. They went into town, and they went to the arcade to have some time together. While there, Sunny, Starrush, Issy, and Misty were in the castle garden playing tag with each other, and they had become really good friends. This is so much fun. I'm sure gonna miss this, said Misty. I'm gonna miss this too, said Starrush. Well, I'm sure you have a lot of friends here though, Starrush, said Issy. Yes, I do. I appreciate all of them, including all of you. We appreciate so much, said Sunny. They were enjoying the time at the castle garden for a while. Hitch later joined them with Sparky to have a good time with playing some games. Later, around lunchtime, they all joined King Arbor for lunch in the dining hall. King Arbor had arranged a small feast for his guests. They were quite surprised of all the food and the desserts that he had arranged. This is quite of a lunch you have prepared for us, said Sunny. Since all of you are leaving today, so I thought to ask the kitchen staff to prepare something special lunch. It's something we didn't expect to see, said Zip. Dad, you know how to throw us some good meals, said Garnet. Let us enjoy it though, it looks quite good, said Issy. They all sat down and started to enjoy their lunch. They were having a good time, and they were even told King Arbor to tell the kitchen staff that the food was so good. We are gonna miss you all, said King Arbor. We are gonna miss Skyros, but at least we can tell others back home that Skyros is still here and that every pony here is so friendly too, said Hitch. We appreciate that you tell others about it, said Garnet Glim. After lunch, they finished by sitting there for a bit longer to relax and small talk before they were leaving. Zip and Garnet Glim had left the dining hall so they could have more private conversation. I really wish that you didn't have to go. I know, but I really had to go. My mom would miss me so much if I didn't have to go home, and who would have to check on my sister? It won't be the same when you leave. I feel the same, even though we know each other for such a short time. I truly love you, Garnet. I really do. I really love you too, Zip, more than anything. Later, they were all at the Smear Stream, and they were about to say goodbye to King Arbor and his sons. You are welcome back to Skyros at any time. Remember that. We will, and you're welcome to visit us too. Garnet gave Zip a small box that contained her favorite chocolate that she had told him about. She smiled at him, and Zip didn't have anything else to give him. I'm sorry, but I have nothing to give you, though. It's okay. You have given me something already. Sip was a bit confused about it. What did I give you? You give me your love, he said with a smile. Hearing that made Sip smile and start to cry, and they shared one final hug and a kiss before Sip stepped inside the mirror stream and all the way through the window as the machine took off in the mid-air and soon left the city of Alonius behind them. Soon the city disappeared under the clouds. Soon they were over the ocean. While Sip flew mirror stream, she sat there and thought of Garnet Glim as she looked out at the ocean. While the others sat at back playing cards or small talk about their time in Skyros. Wonder how the others back home will react to the stories about Skyros, said Sunny. They will be surprised. It's more logical, said Hitch. I think they will be. You're right about that, said Issy. No matter what, at least we had a good time there, and I will bring some new teas for my dad. I know he will love them. Misty had arranged to bring some boxes with Skyros tea for her dad. And of course, it was a lot of pictures on her phone. As the day were going on, in the evening, Sunny and Misty made dinner for all of them, thanks to some of the food that King Arbor had arranged to be loaded on Midstream. They were all enjoying it together. Even they were eating together, Pip noticed that her sister was mostly silent. Sip, we know you miss Garnet Glim, but you would see him soon again, I promise. I know. It just... This is my first time I ever felt like this, happy to find some pony. It's understanding, but your sister's right. He will visit us someday soon. I have a feeling about it, said Sunny. I guess you're right, Sunny. After dinner, Hitch took over the flying for a while, and they decided to take turns of flying for the evening and part of the night. The next day, they spent most of the day playing cards or reading, since they were over the ocean. But during the afternoon, when Misty were flying the Midstream, Sip, I think you need to come here for a moment. What's the matter, Misty? I think you need to take a look at this. Misty were pointing at some dark clouds in the distance. It was a sign of a storm in the area. It was about the same place where the first storm they passed through when they first arrived to Skyros. I take over from here, and we will reach the storm shortly. Tell the others to buckle up, it's gonna be bumpy. Yes, I will tell them. Misty hurried back and told the others, and they went to see themselves, and they saw the storm clouds was approaching, and they buckled up at back. Hitch made sure that Sparky was seated safe too. Soon they could see the dark clouds outside the windows and how the Midstream was bumping all over, but Sip tried her best to avoid the storms, but soon she realized the winds were too strong. She was hoping to find the same small rocky island they had landed on once before. Even it was hard to see through the storm clouds and the winds, she wasn't giving up yet. Eventually, she spotted the same rocky island. All right, everybody, this is your captain speaking. It's going to be an extra more bumpy for a moment, so I recommend to hold tight. With that, Sip dove the Midstream down and soon was able to land safely on the rocky island. Thanks to her flying, they made it down safe. And they had no idea how long the storm could last, but they chose to stay there since they didn't have much other choice. At least they have food for a while that will last for a bit longer, but the rest of the day they sat and tried to relax, and by next morning the storm had passed, and they could choose to continue after breakfast. They knew they had to fly one more day before they arrived home to Mirtan Bay. They couldn't wait for either that, and the next day, early in the morning, Sunny were flying the Mirstream. She saw the sun rising up suddenly. She smiled, knowing they would be home by noon. Soon the others woke up, ate their breakfast, and Sip texted her mom that they would be home at Mirtan Bay around lunchtime. We will be waiting for you, since me and Apple have been staying at your home for a while. Hope that's okay. Yes, Mom, that's fine by us, and the others are gonna be surprised. By noon, Sunny could see Mirtan Bay in the distance and called out to the others, and they smiled as they saw it. We are almost home, said Sip. Soon they landed the midstream outside Crystal Bright House, and as soon as they walked in, suddenly lights and confetti rained down on them. Welcome home, girls, said Haven. Mom, weren't you here? Said Pip. Me and Apple Barrel wanted to celebrate your home. Did you know about this, Sip? Yes, I did. But we made it as a surprise. That's great, but let us have a good time, said Pip. They all went inside and they unpacked their bags and went to the living room so they could all talk. Sunny showed the pictures that she and her friends had taken of Skyros. Both Alphabettle and Haven were interested, especially when Misty gave her dad the boxes of the Skyros tea. His eyes sparkled of the gift. They celebrated the party with the evening. As the party were over, Sip texted Garnet Glim, tell him that she had a ride home safe to Merton Bay and that she misses him. He texted her back that he misses her too. Hopefully that he can come see her someday. Sip wrote back that she can't wait for it. She will show him all around Imirtan Bay and other places. The evening they went all to bed around 11 p.m. since it had been a long day. And it was a day they would never forget anytime soon.